talk to Drew?
Not since we had lunch earlier, no.
Sorry, guys, I'm late. Turns out, tails and seatbelts, not a great combo.
Can confirm.
I told you this could have been easier.
Drew, do you have that $20 you owe me from lunch? I wanted to get a snack tonight.
You already are a snack, my friend. Rawr. But yes, I do have it. It's in my wallet. Let me get it.
He's not going to get it. You guys, you're going about this the wrong way.
Yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it, man. Just cash at me or something.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I could do that. Let me just get my phone.
I'm going in.
Y'all be tripping thinking blue is a danger. Y'all be tripping thinking blue is a danger. But for real, blue she ain't no stranger. But for real, blue she gon' save ya. Y'all be tripping thinking blue is a danger. Y'all be tripping thinking blue is a danger. But for real, blue she ain't no stranger. But for real, blue she gon' save ya.
Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse us. Sorry. Excuse me. Oh. 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 Oh, I don't think this was a good idea.
Yeah, this isn't the easiest thing to sit in.
Mine is.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Tavern Talk. I'm Philip, and joining me this week is Samuel Brett Williams. He's a screenwriter, wrote the revival, the 2016-17 film, the revival based on an off-Broadway play that you wrote, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and supposed to be coming out with, or shooting a new movie this summer, one you wrote with Jennifer Gerber, Has Been Beauty Queen. Is that still happening and everything?
Yeah, hopefully we're shooting in the fall.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's, a lot of buzz around that. Jennifer's been on the show before, so really happy to have you here. And thank you for, first and foremost, for taking the time out to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and it was a big chunk of time this evening. We'll see where you fall on the movie, but yeah, it's this was a 2.5-hour Jurassic World movie. It's subtitled Dominion. And they say it in the movie, so that was a nice little bit in an otherwise, I'll just say interesting adventure for right now. But I don't know if you know or not, but kind of the bit here on the show is that we just walked out of the movie, just saw it, and so what we're talking is like our initial reaction. So, we'll talk about your initial reaction to this movie first, and then maybe get a little context on where you come at the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise from. But what did you think of this latest installment?
This one, it didn't quite do for me what the first one did. You know? I mean, I think the first one is one of the great kind of American movies of all time, honestly.
Right.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
I really do. This one, it wasn't really a Jurassic Park movie for me until really the last 30 minutes.
Don't give me that shit.
Honestly, it was kind of trying to be James Bond a little bit, and then it was just so much plot, so little character.
Yeah.
I honestly think the first movie, the T-Rex, was more of a character than any of the characters in this movie were. Even the older characters, you look at kind of what the last Spider-Man did with their older characters and how they were just kind of really used well.
Right.
But this one really didn't do that. It was a movie that was even making fun of its own dialogue at times, calling it sappy and stuff like that. It just didn't kind of work for me. It was really complicated plot with simple characters, and I kind of like it the opposite way. I like easy plot and clear plot and complicated characters, even with summer movies, which Spielberg does it really well. Tom Cruise even does that really well, but I didn't think it worked here very well for me, at least personally.
No, that's interesting you note that, especially coming off of Top Gun Maverick recently, and it being just such a streamlined plot and just
exactly.
very clear and concise in its objective and getting to that, and us just being along for the ride while it is the characters and those dynamics between the kind of the generational ties there that really is what holds our attention. And I was kind of hoping for the same. Like, this is in many ways a legacy sequel. This is the first time since the original Jurassic Park that we have all three of the Sam Neill, the Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum characters together. I know Jeff Goldblum was in the last one, Fallen Kingdom, but you get them on screen again all together here. And I was going to ask where does the obviously the original trilogy is a little, those two follow-ups also kind of failed to meet the first one. But I went into the Jurassic World franchise kind of just like putting aside that first movie, just like no one's ever going to be able to touch that. And so I kind of enjoyed the first Jurassic World, which Colin Trevorrow directed. Fallen Kingdom is definitely kind of an oddity. J.A. Bayona did that one, but Colin Trevorrow is back on this one, and you're right. This is just kind of all over the place.
Well, I mean, to me, honestly, every Jurassic Park movie after the first one is basically the same movie. They just keep remaking, where it's like they basically are trying to say, like, it's rich people trying to get richer off the dinosaurs. And that's basically the plot of every single Jurassic Park movie since the first one, whereas the first one is really kind of, it's like Citizen Kane in a way. It's like, it's about American hubris, but it's not about a rich person trying to get richer. It's about someone kind of trying to find happiness through the park. He's trying to find happiness and give it to his grandchildren. He's trying to do it for someone else other than himself. Whereas Campbell Scott's character in this, I don't even know what he wants. I mean, is he really trying to become richer? Maybe, I guess. Like, it's kind of that message of kind of rich people are bad, which, it's so boring at this point. I understand, and I can get behind that, but it's like in terms of like maybe a concept, if you really get into a nuanced way of looking at it, but it's so simplistic and kind of deeply boring at this point in terms of just saying it over and over and over again in terms of just the same story. I really kind of was almost zoning out at times. It just felt kind of lazy. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's funny that the repetitive nature of the franchise is really kind of, it's hammered home here, because even like a lot of the beats that we see halfway through the movie and some of the action sequences, I feel like they just kind of go back and repeat themselves at the end of the movie. Yeah. And I mentioned at the top, like, this is almost, I think it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, almost. There's no reason that this needed to be this long, other than maybe just like to emphasize the scope, maybe. I don't know. And there is certainly some scope to it. There's a lot of, like you made the Bond reference, a lot of globetrotting in this, a lot of different locations. I kind of laughed at the fact that the font, like identifying every location, was purposely very 90s seeming. But I mean, it all, I don't know, there was just a lot of weird choices as far as the directing, the editing. A lot of it felt very stilted. You could tell they were trying to go back to a lot of like practical dinosaur effects in a lot of shots, and so I appreciate that, but then some of like the CG they put around it or on top of it looked sometimes really bad, sometimes it was okay, but there were a lot of times I was like, wow, I can't believe this is like the final cut of it almost.
I mean, again, to me it's just going back to the characters. It's like you look at John Hammond in the first one, and it's just like he really is. It's kind of about the American dream, and it's just he wants bigger and bigger and bigger. He's creating kind of like the best McDonald's in the world, and he's trying to give it to his grandchildren, and he wants something to leave behind as this kind of legacy. And what does Campbell Scott want in this movie? What is the point of all of this? What's the point of us even kind of being here for this? And I don't think anyone knows, other than to kind of see dinosaurs, but it's like they're not even giving us the dinosaurs until the last 30 minutes. It just felt kind of so deeply repetitive at this point. It was almost depressing.
It's funny because the Campbell Scott character, him, and there's another character named Santos who shows up for like a scene, maybe
Is
a
that his
sequence,
henchman,
like
kind of?
the lady in the white.
Oh yeah,
and I was like,
the lady in the white.
And she's a straight up like
Bond character,
cartoon
right?
character. Yeah, like,
there's so many cartoons.
exactly.
They're all cartoon characters in this. There's not one fully developed character, and the only developed characters are characters that have been developed in other movies and
Right.
then brought to this movie.
Yeah.
Look, we can discuss sexism and survival situations when I get back.
No character is developed within this movie.
Yeah, and the only like even the Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, like I did feel that it was they've been so kind of thin since the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, and I liked Jurassic World. I thought it was fine, escapist summer popcorn movie making. Like I enjoyed it for the entertainment value. Like no qualms there. It was a lot of fun. Even if, like you said, the character work there, it still wasn't great, even in that first movie. And here, like, the smartest thing they could have done was to bring back those legacy characters and kind of split the story into, like, the two lines that'll eventually meet up with those two different groups of the legacy characters and the current franchise characters. Like, okay, cool, I'm down with that. But, yeah, all that to say, like, the Campbell Scott character, they make him out to be a certain way, and obviously he's going to do this villainous turn. But yeah, there's no like what is really there's no stakes.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm saying. There's no real stakes here.
Is there any other story to tell with the dinosaurs besides rich people trying to get richer off the dinosaurs?
Well,
and then put them in a park and then try to kill the people with the dinosaurs. Like it's the same
the same
movie
thing.
every
Yeah.
single time, and it's like they keep setting it up, and we know how it's going to end, and we know what's going to happen.
Well,
And I keep going, and I keep watching it
know.
every time. But it's like at some point, it's like, why do I keep doing this? I don't know.
And the weird thing about this one in particular was like that last movie set it up to be like, okay, Jurassic World, like we're gonna do this for real.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna see what
And
it's
the
like.
whole point of it was they're bringing them into the real world.
Exactly.
Finally, they're bringing them into the real world, and then immediately this movie starts, and it's like, just kidding. We put them back on an island.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, if you're gonna go see it, but
Yeah.
it's like, the first 2 minutes of the movie, it's like, actually, no, they're not in the real world.
No.
We put them back on an island, guys.
And then
just kidding.
Then they decide to go with
Yeah.
this locust thing.
Yeah, it's like the X-Files movie.
Thank you.
Where it's like the bugs are really the villains, right?
Yeah.
And there's like this whole scene where it's like we're supposed to be scared of the bugs.
Well, and it's just
Right?
like, yeah, but yeah, you're right though. Like as soon as
I'm
that
not scared of bugs.
as soon as that came in, I was like, wait, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why is this a part of it? And like, again, I understand. Like, I'm not gonna get mad at a Jurassic World movie for like not being about something more, but like, it just seemed like the focus on what it needed to be, or what it
Yeah.
at least should try to be, was all off here.
I wanted more dinosaurs. Like, I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
being around the dinosaurs in the park and seeing, like, it's just, I don't know. When they go into the park in the first movie and you see the kids with the dinosaurs, like, we don't even have that. And in Jurassic World, that's the first one of the second trilogy, right?
Yes, yeah.
There's this scene of just the kid going into the park and experiencing that for the first time.
Right.
And we had been away from it for so long. Like, I really got swept up in that. You
Yes,
know?
exactly.
And I really enjoyed that again. I was like, okay, it's the same thing, but I missed it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really did enjoy that movie, like a lot of parts of that movie, because it's like I've experienced it before, but I enjoyed experiencing it before.
Yeah.
You know, whereas there are parts of this where it's like these are the parts I don't miss, and I've seen it recently. Type of thing. you know?
Well, and there was just like, I mean, obviously to the first one, but like you were saying, even in Jurassic World, there was kind of like a majestic quality to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
A real majestic quality.
Yeah,
to it.
and in this, it just feels. I mean, it just really
Yeah.
feels like they're going through the motions.
But it was so deeply intimate too. The first one, you know, it's like
Right.
they get in there with the dinosaurs, and there was so much about the dinosaurs' eyes.
Yeah.
you know, and there, and it was so practical too. A lot of the effects they were doing with the dinosaurs.
Right.
And we were in there experiencing things with the people and the dinosaurs, whereas we're kind of far away from the characters in all of this, and there's just so many moving parts, and it's just so much plot. It's really kind of just like a jigsaw puzzle they're putting together.
Yeah.
And the movie's kind of over.
Yeah, no, it's definitely overstuffed, and there are storylines that are just, like I said, just feel unnecessary. As far as like highlighting things I didn't mind about it, thought Jeff Goldblum was really funny.
impressive, spectacular, important.
Yeah.
Like he was like
his
kind of-
line readings are good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just he's definitely just doing his thing that he's always done, but it worked really well here. Just I don't know if it was because like nothing else was like really working out.
Yeah.
Like even the Sam Neill, Laura Dern
He's always good.
relationship.
Sam Neill's always good, I feel
Yeah,
like.
I just felt like their relationship, like they felt like they had to shoehorn that in, and it almost felt a little awkward.
It was
and-
so quick they had to do it. Like they
Yeah.
were skipping steps. Like
Yeah.
immediately, like she's sleeping on his shoulder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they had to just like push them together as quickly as possible. you
Yeah,
know?
and not to get like too like micro level picky
Yeah.
on it, but like even the like staging of that shot was like, this is awkward. Like
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
going on here? Like this is so weird and feels like just an obligation they had to fulfill. Nothing that's like
It
natural.
did feel obligatory.
Yeah.
A lot of the movie did feel kind of obligatory.
Yeah.
But I mean, the dinosaurs still are dinosaurs, you know, and it's like it's fun to see dinosaurs.
Right.
It's like
that's the draw for
you
sure.
know, and it did still feel big, you know,
Yes.
and they had a weight to them. So it's still there's still kind of an excitement in that, and I did like the little creature feature segments where it's just kind of one-on-one with the dinosaurs.
Right, yeah.
That's always fun when it's
Yeah.
just like one person against one dinosaur.
Yes.
Type of segments. Those always I thought worked kind of well.
Yeah, that sequence, and they give it away in the trailer, but the one with Bryce Dallas Howard where she's under the water.
Oh, that was
and,
the best
like,
part. I thought that was my favorite scene, actually. That was a really creepy scene.
Yeah, and stylistically, like her hair color with the green of the water,
Yeah, that was
and just like
a Blue Lagoon type of thing. Yeah,
it was very cool, and I was just like, if they had like sat down and thought out some of the other set pieces just half as much as they did, the look and style
the
of that
fog
one,
and everything.
it would be, it would go up so much more. Yeah, I did also want to shout one. We were talking about some of the new characters, and DeWanda Wise, she's new to the franchise as a whole, plays a pilot. And then I'm probably going to butcher his name, but Mamoudou Athie, he was in that Archive. Is it Archive 81?
Archive 81, yeah.
Yeah, on Netflix.
Which I enjoyed that series.
I did too. Yeah, I was sad that they're not going to renew that one. And then we were talking about patty cakes, which we might be the only ones.
Yeah, patty cakes was fun.
Who have talked about that movie in several years. But I think that was the first time I saw him. But yeah, they both kind of they do what they can with what they're given here, and I thought she was especially very charming in her role, kind of playing off Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. But yeah, I was going into this fairly optimistic, hoping that because this is they're billing it as like the franchise finale.
They'll bring it back.
I barely believe that, but yeah, certainly for like these characters, this will probably be. Or at least a good portion of these characters the last time we'll see them, and so I was really hoping that it would feel grand and kind of have a finality to it. It does feel grand. It does feel there's certainly a scope to it, like I said, but it somehow at the same time it was underwhelming.
Yeah, I do hope they go back to the first one though. If they do kind of reboot it all the way, because the first one I have so much admiration for that, and the idea of this kind of American exceptionalism, just kind of. It starts in this place that really he has the best intentions. You know, it's not a rich guy trying to get richer. He really wants to create something amazing and leave it for the world, and it just ruins everything. In this amazingly American way that is just so interesting and ambiguous and messy. And I love that movie so much. It's really one of my favorite movies ever, and it has a lot to say for a summer movie.
God creates dinosaurs. God destroys dinosaurs. God creates man. Man destroys God. Man creates dinosaurs.
Yeah,
and the characters are amazing. So
yeah,
I'll always love the franchise just for what it created in that first movie.
Right. No, I mean it really is hard,
And the score and everything about that movie is just perfect. It's a perfect movie in a lot of ways. Yeah.
And I mean, we're of the same generation where it was just it hit at the right point in our childhood.
Oh yeah,
and it was just
it's $1 trillion idea as well.
Yeah,
the book, everything about that movie. Yeah.
But so that's a good as point as any to kind of at the end of the reviews here. We typically do an out of 5-star rating. So I mean, we always kind of knew nothing was going to live up to that first one. But what, as far as like initial reaction star rating, would you give Dominion?
I mean, I'd probably give it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the dinosaurs are dinosaurs, you know, and
No, that's
it's
fair.
you know it's big, and it kind of puts a cap on everything, and you get to see the older characters, which there's a nostalgia in that, which is nice.
Yeah. I wish they'd, obviously wish it delivered on that reunion a little bit more, and a couple of the other things. But you're right. I mean, we get a T-Rex on, I guess, some kind of other T-Rex, a larger carnivore, or the largest carnivore that's ever walked the earth, I think is how they refer to it.
Yeah.
We get a battle there at the end, so if you're going to see that on the big screen, you get that delivered. But yeah, I think I'll go 2 as well. It's fine. If you go here looking for dinosaurs, you're not going to get as much as you wanted, but there's still some dinosaur action here that's worth seeing on the big screen. But yeah, I think that'll be it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me again and for taking the time to be here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. We try to produce a new review of the biggest release every week here from the Movie Tavern. So hit that notification bell so you know when we upload a new video. But other than that, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.